Vegan Steven, I love that. And I love seeing some gameplay as well. It looks like we're finally ready to get into it. It's going to be Courage versus Giramew for this game number 1 off on Sky Arena platform. So here we go, getting into it right now. It looks like Courage is trying to slow things down, just trying to make Giramew approach on his own terms. He allowed that down air, armor-piercing, multi-hitting move. So as you said before, Sharpie, it will blow through the shield. But Giramew actually starting to set up a line of scrimmage, make Courage approach. I like the patience that both these players are showing off. But oh, this is going to be a big string. He didn't even touch on the hunger stacks that Taz has, because if that meter goes all the way up, hope you're packaged, because you're going to be turning into a chicken, and when you're a chicken, you have access to none of your moves. You can only move and dodge and jump.
Now, what I'm already seeing from Steven is very, very good use of the neutral special move, which is actually the shield, very first tether going down there, and unfortunately, nothing connects. Taz has to be a little bit careful, because attack decay will kind of hurt Taz in the long run. The chicken does secure that very first knockout for Taz, and only one more knockout is put Courage up inside of the set.
Yeah, that was some quick work, and as soon as I saw the chicken start to come out, I was like, Steven needs to be a bit afraid here, because like, especially after you got hit by a dog pile, it's going to be very hard to recover if you don't have access to any of your specials. And Steven usually gets to recover for free, or not quite for free, but you know, has some shields to cover himself. And yep, just like that, the shields really keeping Steven safe and healthy at the moment. But those hunger stacks are starting to come up, and we start to see the debuff start to come out. But Courage really privy to that, not trying to be in a bubble today. And y'all smell something? It smells a bit like chicken.
Yeah, that's incredibly unfortunate, but luckily Steven gets out of it with their life and their stock there. Very, very good opportunity for that Steven.
Oh, but goodbye to Vegan Steven right there, going to be sent off and away. But in a few seconds, we should see another one if Courage actually gets the space. So Giramew actually finds a little jab combo, starting to buy some space for themselves. And these shields, this is where Giramew looks really comfortable. Courage, though, not really too eager to approach through that. I like the patience. Back to the wall, but still not trying to press forward in a haphazard way.
Yeah, a lot of side airs going out as they approach, and that's actually the very first time that I've seen them properly use that neutral air, that's specifically against Taz, but it's a little bit too late inside of the set. Oh, fantastic shield setup. Once again, not quite enough. You have to be so careful when you use that bubble armor. Taz multi-hitting move, cannot do it like that, and that does secure Courage the very first win inside of this set, 1-0. Over their opponent. Reindog, what else can you say? That was pretty. That was kind of snowbally.
Yeah, that was kind of extremely snowbally, and I mean, I feel like that's what Taz does best. Both on the game level, like having a lot of high knockback moves and having multiple armor-piercing ways to get through Steven's shield, but even on the psychological level. When you see Taz get a lead, it's like, oh man, I have to get in. Like, I can't let them lap me in damage and stuff like that. And then you try and approach, and Taz's like, okay, I have Dogpile. I can just fade back down air and then, you know, hit you with the jab combo, and then you're 3/4 away into being my dinner. So it just gets compounding losses, one on top of the other, when you try and box with Taz in a like setting that's not in your favor. Kind of have to stack the odds a bit. That's what Giramew was doing in some situations. Starting to see a character switch, I think.
You know, I don't disagree with it. I really don't. I, once again, don't think Steven wins that matchup. So I'm happy to see them switching off of Steven. Are you aware as whether or not this is a 1-2 or if it's a 1-3?
Let me see. Looks like a 1-2. Yep, the other side of the bracket was a clean 2-0. So the winner of this fights Z. I wasn't able to. Actually, no, I heard who they played. Pre-setup, so it should be a Wonder Woman.
Sure. Reindog, fantastic pick for this. As I was stating before, we're probably going to see a lot of these specials right there. We saw one immediately come out, and that's so good. I did see a neutral dodge go straight into a cannonball there. It doesn't quite connect. Kind of feeling it out, and I respect a lot of this. There's that updated anvil that we saw just recently added, that heavy projectile change as per this patch from Taz, doing a lot of work here.
Yeah, and Taz, or excuse me, Courage looks so comfortable using that to his maximum advantage, throwing that out through all of Reindog's projectiles and just able to approach in free reign. And so now we have a little bit more of a conservative neutral going on right now. Great anti-air right there from Courage. Now the juggle situation is coming through. Sky Arena platforms, sometimes it can be hard for bigger body characters to land safely, and we're starting to see Giramew struggle with that as well. Resources starting to dwindle down, but Courage just holding his ground center stage, just pushing Giramew slowly off to the right. Giramew gets through, but I mean, with those hunger stacks really up there, you can't afford to engage with Taz on his real estate.
100%. I think Reindog's weight is really doing them a favor here, because it is allowing them to kind of recover and a little bit more safe through things, be a little bit more slower with it because they are so light. Ooh! Oh. Wasn't even able to recover there. Didn't have any more jumps. Didn't have anything kind of out of option.
Yeah. I mean, you see that poor dog just kind of forced to fall and be knocked out right there. So actually, Courage sitting in the fire, doesn't that hurt? But, you know, not really looking too perturbed about that at the moment. Has a huge lead and an anvil as well. But as I say that, it starts to disappear. And okay, Giramew gets a little bit of an opening right there. Big juggle situation. Starting to use, okay, I like that string right there. And another fireball, looking for a spike. Oh, but a little bit too much dip on that chip right there. Not able to get the spike knockout right there. And now Courage has center stage and trying to lock Giramew down in a situation that, you know, lost him that first stop.
Okay, yeah, that's tough. Gotta be careful about recovering here. Have to be very, very careful. Great edge guarding there by Courage. Fantastic tornado came off into Dogpile. Is not going to give him back any of those jumps, and that is going to secure the final game for Courage, putting them up 2-0, moving them forward on this set. Let's just talk about that set for a second, if we can, J-Dog. Obviously, PG's coming out now, but it was a very commanding amount of pressure coming out from that Taz there, despite the fact that Reindog has recently been buffed. Saw that his up air has a much bigger hitbox now, but we didn't see as many up airs there. We didn't see anything much more than just a couple of side airs, and even, you know, just some general, I believe, neutral airs, basically secure a lot of those damage over time attacks or dot attacks.
Yeah, I mean, didn't really get a whole lot of opportunity, and also just couldn't find the right openings to do so. I feel like Reindog like works amazingly in the twos format because poor puppy just needs some space. Doesn't like having too many people close by. But I mean, fighting against the Taz, you're not going to get much of that space. We saw in that final stock right there before that ring out, once Courage recognized that his opponent was running out of resources, he's like, okay, it's go time. It's time for me to hit that tornado. High base knockback, you're far off stage. You have to burn a special. Now it's time for me to hit a bite or to hit the dog pile. So he's not able to get too much after that. So once Courage recognized the situation, it's, as I said before, compounding losses. It's got worse and worse and worse and worse.
And I think that really speaks to Courage's comfort with Taz. I think we saw a lot of character, understanding the character, understanding, and I guess the word I'm looking for is character comfort. That ultimately played very, very well